People of the internet, we have spawned here on King Sejong Station in the second to last series of the night. It is going to be a ZVP, our first one as well. Spawning here is going to be that Zerg player representing Acer as well as the Ukraine. It is Bly.
And his opponent across the map, throwing down a forge. We've seen him use this to fairly terrifying effect in the past. In the top left, in the red trunks, representing Yoi Flash Wolves in South Korea, it is PartinG.
It wasn't quite my phone that time, but...
Yeah, what have you catapulted this time?
Yeah. It's just a thing that I like to do. I like throwing things around. So fun. I'm so excited, man.
Doings. And off it goes.
So, like you said, though, PartinG, a player that does like to win games without making units at times in this matchup. And Bly, though, going for... Oh, you know, yeah, he went for a 13 pool. And has 6 lings on the way, so he's kind of distracting PartinG at the moment, who's going to let that pylon finish, and already denying the third base of Bly as well. But does he know that it is going to be 6 lings that are going to be on the way? Nexus before the cannon, and he will see these lings come out, but no, Bly is going to use them to kill the pylon. Does not want to lose in the early game here to some kind of cannon rush. Even tried to put another building there, PartinG did.
Yeah, trying to get that forge down. Obviously, the best choice is probably a gateway because it has a bit more health and costs the same, and an even better choice is the cybercore because for no apparent reason it has 100 more health. So
really,
yeah.
Yeah, you could put a Nexus there too if you really wanted to. I heard that added a lot of health.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could, but that would might be a problem for you as well in not too distant future because obviously a Nexus is quite expensive.
Yes, very.
Yes. Well, so, the lings are coming across the map. They're going to try and put on some pressure, but I think the cannon's just going to drive them away unless they get very lucky in getting through that wall. Oh! Okay.
All right. I love it. He's trying for it, testing the water, saying, "Yo, I'll do it. I'll do it, man. I'm crazy." But not getting anything really done there. But he did go for the pool first and then into hatchery. So it's not like he went for a 10 pool there. Although he did get his hatchery denied. Remember that PartinG went for the forge first, and he also got a pylon killed here, so not the worst of situations for Bly, who does have 2 of his hatcheries on the way. At how many lings did he just lose? Not too many, right? It was
no, he's lost like
lings?
4 of 6. It's not too bad a situation to be in as Bly at all. I would say that at this point he's maybe not going into it with the lead, but neither player is especially behind. PartinG didn't really commit to his cheese, instead just going for a fairly defensive build because you can transition from cannon rush or out of cannon rush very easily if you don't put down the cannons. Exactly. It's just an annoying pylon block, and yeah, it kind of has equaled out a little at this point.
Well, a very fast +1 coming out of PartinG here, and he's chrono boosting out his warp gate from the cybernetics core. So, and Bly sees it, so he should know that seeing that upgrade as well, that PartinG does want to get a bit aggressive here. You don't usually chrono boost out the warp gate unless you do want to put some pressure on. So with that ling getting killed, the probe will be able to get out onto the map. Should PartinG decide to go for it, and with that early third, it can be pretty difficult because Bly is just now starting to mine his gas, and he's probably going to bypass the ling speed and just go right into the roaches because when you see +1 researching and warp gate getting chrono boosted, unless you get a first surround, like you get a surround on the first wave, you don't really get a lot done with lings here. They're just not really that effective.
No, and thus it was written, so it shall be. You call it perfectly. Getting the speed a little bit later, but the Roach Warren going down first, getting ready to deal with this push that is very likely to be coming out of PartinG to at least some extent, just to be annoying, really, just to force units, force a response instead of allowing Bly to drone up and get his macros established as he wants it to be.
Yeah, and that's actually a really nice move here from PartinG. Just making some stalkers. He's making 3 more stalkers, actually. Already has dropped down that robotics facility. So maybe he was hoping that Bly would respond with roaches, but no. Bly making lings and PartinG. Got to be a little bit careful.
Getting that Soka trap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, PartinG's follow-up is the robotics, right? So, you know him. He does like that facility as well. So I'm wondering here, what can PartinG get done with these stalkers? Yes, it's nice to force out the units, but is he going to be able to actually get some economic damage done? And,
I wonder if PartinG might be overcommitting a little bit. I feel like he's got a plan up his sleeve, but at the same time, Bly is making a lot of units to deal with this, and there isn't really a lot of, well, there isn't a lot of reinforcement potential for PartinG. He's only made 4 Stalkers, which is good, because it's not that big an army, but of course, the Stalkers, whilst irritating, are then at the other side of the map, and if we don't see a recall, which I still don't think will make that much difference, we're going to be looking at a very small army on the PartinG side of things to deal with this force that's now running towards the 3rd base.
Yeah, and he's actually going to lose those stalkers there. One goes down, another goes down as PartinG frantically tries to hold this 3rd that he did take during that. And just for making a lot of sentries to hold here. These roaches don't have the speed, so it's going to take them a long time to get there. And look at that, 3 cannons. PartinG is not messing around at all. He really wants to hold this here.
Yeah, he's certainly working out how best to deal with it, and I'm a little bit surprised to see a prism rather than an immortal come out first, but I guess the best form of defense is attack by some people's logic, and
right.
So by getting the prism out and going on the offensive, it's going to keep those units of Bly back at home and allow for a safer 3rd base in general.
And the awesome thing that PartinG did was, like we were saying, if he was overcommitting, and he might have, losing those stalkers is not what you want to do. But the fact that he didn't recall means that he does have that possibility of defending the 3rd with the photon overcharge. So if Bly decided to just go fully committed and make a bunch of lings and a bunch of roaches, then PartinG would be in a bit more trouble because he wouldn't have the photon overcharge. So both players kind of like feeling each other out, but not doing that kind of predictable thing, saying, all right, freak out, recall, and then take advantage of something like that. They're keeping their heads kind of cool, I would say.
Yeah, PartinG's not the kind of guy to freak out under pressure, though. Now actually moving out with all those sentries he made while spending his minerals on bases. He's going to have the probe, going to put the pressure on, but he actually needs to be across the map. Although, the phone overcharge is going to help, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, they say.
I think he gets 2 of them here, too, because that will be at 100 energy soon. But now the real problem here is that PartinG, he is so committed here. The Mothership core is on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And he wants to end the game right here. Bly did decide to go for some a little bit of a weird style where he got Spire as well as Overlord drop. I don't even know if he has the Overlord speed, so that's not really going to be effective. And Bly just doesn't have enough units here on the ground to defend, but he's doing a massive amounts of damage in the main.
Yeah, well, half of Bly's army is across the map attacking PartinG's main, kind of forcing a bit of a base race situation, but at the same time pushing forward with these 1-1 Stalkers, of which are very, very strong in general against roaches as well. Force fields coming down, walling the roaches out, fighting drones, which is exactly where he wants to be, getting the economic damage done as well as the regular damage, but there's no blink, so these Stalkers are actually being killed off in general. And I'm not totally sure that PartinG can win this fight.
Oh, the Guardian Shield and the +1/+1 is really shining a lot here. Burrow not going to be a factor because the Observer is here as well, and Bly is just desperately fighting. He has the bases to get the lava out, but he doesn't have the money right now. He pulled all of his drones, and this Ventral Sax is, I can't help but think that it's just, it may not really matter because of, it's 100-100, I believe, and I don't think 100-100 worth of units will be able to take out that force. PartinG.
No, I don't think so. Alrighty guys, we are back, spawning into Foxtrot Labs for the 2nd time in PartinG's Day, a map rarely seen, but he is going to be in the top right, he is going to be in the teal, and he is representing Yoey Flashwolves and South Korea.
And his opponent, spawning also in the top, is going to be Acer's own Bly.
He's spawning in the bottom, but expanding to the top. That is a strategy.
It is. And this is going to make this Forge start out of PartinG not as effective, but okie dokie. Looks like PartinG is going to be doing some sneaky stuff here. I don't know if it's been seen. No, the Overlord doesn't see it at all.
It sees it now. The drone was on its way down and then just kind of went, oh, hold on. Both of these players are just so cheeky.
I'm telling you, man, when you see these two players meet up, you don't see it that often, but Seeing it today, it's definitely lived
Yeah.
up to what I thought it would be, which is I have no idea what it would be.
Well described, I've got to say. It is. I think it would have gone for fireworks, like you said. You said you thought there were going to be fireworks, and immediately, get straight into it as soon as possible. These guys going, yeah, it's time to ruin each other's day.
Yep. Well, the real issue here is that Bly can't rally any of his units from his main to actually reinforce this proxy hatch that he did put down. And now PartinG has 2 cannons already shooting. He's going right for the eggs and the larva. And now he's going for the hatchery. And he can't get out of his base. He's kind of stuck.
Oh, look at that. The cannon cannot hit the far pylon. The cannon is not covering that, so it's thinking about it. It keeps like pulsing gently as they do, but it can't actually do anything. And this is going to be the moment where the game could, the future of the game hangs in the balance depending on the decisions made by these players.
Yep, Bly gonna get out with 2 lings. And the queen gonna sacrifice a bit of her HP for it, but these 2 lings not gonna be that effective against 2 cannons here. And it's not even like there's speed or anything on the way. And not even a lair, so we're not going to see some kind of Nidus play. Bly's going to try to do this off of 1 base, maybe break down with these roaches, but he has a long road ahead of him in order to get rid of this high ground vision that PartinG has. But,
yeah, this is a really weird situation to be in, to be honest. But Bly has kind of found himself forced into a 1 base. Because he lost his natural that was PartinG's natural. He's lost the access to his own default natural by PartinG's through pylon wall followed by cannon. And actually seeing, another... that's pylon going down.
It is.
Thought we might have seen a cannon, but it doesn't matter either way because the roaches popping out now are going to be able to cancel that pretty effectively. And even if the cannon could hit those roaches on the high ground, which it can't, it wouldn't be doing that much damage to them anyway. Roaches are pretty tanky.
Yeah, and he's going to get rid of this cannon here, and he's going to be able to get out of his... Possibly? I don't even know what kind of wall PartinG is trying to cook up here, but this he is going to lose that...
He's PartinG. He doesn't feel right unless he's building 6 cannons before the 5-minute mark, so it's just not his way. All the cancels coming on.
So a lot of resources lost there for all those cancels. Bly does break out, but he's still on 1 base, and he is going right up to lair. PartinG going to be reacting, rightfully so, with 2 more cannons, but Foxtrot, look at how big this,
yeah.
I was trying to say the choke. We can't even really call it a choke, but...
It's the gap at the natural.
The gap at the natural gap. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Got this. And something else I was thinking of was, look how long it took for the creep to recede on that base.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that is a long time.
That was a long time. As
yeah.
The Nexus is right now on the way. I would love to see some Nidus play out of Bly. Kind of just poking the front, forcing PartinG to feel a little bit more, less comfortable.
Yeah, and you would feel less comfortable with Roach Vomit lapping at your Cybercore. You need that for Warp Gate. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to come out.
I don't think so either. That's not a very scary force out of PartinG. He's trying to flex at him, but he says, "Come on, man. Things look bigger in the mirror than that's what you're trying to look at me at." But
yeah.
Oh, okay, another Roach will go down, but not at the expense for... It's not at a free expense. He's going to lose all of his units here, and all he has are cannons. And I mean, I say all he has are cannons, but that Nexus is exposed.
Yeah, this is actually quite worrying. We've seen Nidus follow-up coming out as well. I think that might do some serious damage with that Overlord drifting towards the bottom of the base, of course. And there's an Oracle on its way out of the Stargate. There was a Void Ray, but that was cancelled in preparation for this this Oracle. I think that the Void Ray might have been a better decision, to be honest, because it could have gone around hunting for those Overlords and killing them off. And now, at this point, we're seeing a second Oracle being made by PartinG as well.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and try to get some damage done in the main of Bly. But Bly is going to have some queens with this. How many does he have? I'm looking at only 1 queen. Can't really deal with an Oracle with only 1 queen unless it doesn't have energy. But now
that Nidus is screaming.
And guess what? There are no mothership. There's no mothership core out here for PartinG.
No.
I think Bly is going to be able to do some critical damage here.
I absolutely agree. This is looking so grim for PartinG. The Oracle in the main is not going to do enough, and these probes are getting smashed to pieces by the Roaches, even with the Oracle coming in to support. PartinG down to 16 workers and still falling.
He is. He's down to 11. Oracle is trying to kill a Roach. Not going to have the best of luck, but with a little bit of some probe assistance, he will be able to, but now this queen is here, and that second queen is going to be a little bit more problematic for PartinG because, oh man, he's just losing so much mining time, but he does have the 2 Nexus. Bly is not letting up at all here. If he can get this up, which he won't.
No, not again. Just puts down another one. Bly is unrelenting with his Niduses. However, that Void Ray, this, I think, being what PartinG desperately needed to hold the base, that or pylons to spot, is going to be critical in killing off the Queen, stopping it, putting down a Tumor as well, killing off the Nidus, chasing away the Overlord. PartinG has begun to stabilize, but he's on 11 workers to 27 of Bly. This is a very bad situation.
Yeah, and he does have 2 Nexus, right? But there's a reason why people don't go 11 Nexus, because you just can't produce 2 probes at a time consistently here while making anything else. So he's going to try to get his economy back up. Bly, though, using a lot of his resources to get these Niduses up pretty desperately, but he has a really nice significant worker lead here. And he's not letting off with that Nidus one, by the way.
No, he's not building another one in the top. Yeah, but PartinG should be paranoid. There's another one going in the top, and as soon as that doesn't succeed, if and when it doesn't succeed indeed, we're going to see another one come in the bottom, I think. But this is straight off Queens, Roaches coming out. There's not actually that many forces coming through that Nidus worm, but I think it's because Bly knows that he doesn't really need to do that much. All he needs to do is keep his opponent suppressed. The Roaches can turn up and kill off probes, and as long as they're doing economic damage, PartinG can't ever get back into this game in a meaningful way.
No. And he needs to be able to get at least one of these units. The Void Ray is so low right now, but the Oracles come in to save the day. Spore Crawler is pretty good, though. This Nidus will be able to survive, perhaps. Oh my god, it's going to be so close, but I think he might get it. But not at the expense. I think it's going to go Void Ray.
Didn't quite do it. You need 3. I think you need 4 oracles to kill. 4 oracles to kill a Spore Crawler, and one of them has to be pulled back midway through. They're not a tanky unit. Not by anyone's reckoning.
Well, that Void Ray is the MVP here. If it wasn't for that Void Ray coming out, not this many resources would have had to been used, because the Oracles don't really kill buildings that fast at all. But the Void Ray, when they do the prismatic alignment, definitely a lot better at that. So I think the Nidus has kind of stopped for now. But Hydralisks are going to be the choice for Bly. And he's on a pretty decent economy, man. He's on 3 base saturation, well, 2 base saturation. 3 gas.
The Niduses are back.
Yep, I love how he's just not stopping with it.
Oh, he's never going to stop. There are just more and more Nidus. You just why ever end?
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite. He's invested a lot of money into Nidus by this point.
He has.
Still GG. Alrighty, folks, we are here. The score is 1-1 in this Lazarus match, the losers match, to see who gets the chance to face off against Supernova. It could be the player spawning in the bottom left once again, or it could be his opponent up in the top right in the orange, representing Team Acer. It is Bly. And he was a little bit cheeky. You guys missed it, but he opened that series, and he said, he just dropped straight in, and he said, "You just got Blyed. You got Blyed that match." And to which PartinG's response was, "Good luck, have fun."
Yep, good luck. So, his opponent is spawning in the bottom left corner, representing Yoi Flash Wolves. It is the red Protoss player from Korea, PartinG. PartinG.
I haven't heard it. I'm just copying what you're saying. I need to hear it.
I know. It was. I'm trying to think what tournament it was, but
Sandisk?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a good tournament.
Yeah,
like you can't.
Shout out to TV. Shout out.
Fantastic tournament. One of the best I've seen, just as an online thing. But getting similar caliber of players here, so that is still something. That is definitely something. PartinG isn't throwing down a Forge this time. We've seen him go for Forge plays on this map pretty much every single time he's gone on it. So I want to see what he does when he isn't going for cheese.
Yeah, and the funniest part, too, is that if I was Bly with that Overlord, well, before seeing the Zealot, and not seeing the Forge, I'd have been like, oh my god, am I getting too gated?
Yeah.
But, that's not even the case here. It's just the fact that we haven't seen him open up Gateway at all this series.
No. Well, he's a versatile player. He can play whatever style he likes.
Yep. And that's going to be his one Gateway expand, getting that second gas. right now while Bly doing his thing, as he does make those early lings once more. That may, depending on what he decides to follow it up with, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get anything done with it. You know, he did get the speed. And, okie dokie, there we go. Overlord on the way, saving up that larva. 4 more lings on the way. Yeah, I think he's going to try to just break this front.
Is it going to be... Is he going to be able to, though? I mean, with the Zealot there, obviously the pylon as well, very helpful in keeping that wall complete. And the Zealot's just going to hang out. The Mothership Core moves out the front to try and chip away at the lings as soon as possible and generally keep the information up. And actually, that's a lot of Zerglings being made by Bly.
It is a lot.
Yeah. There's no forge this time either.
No, he's going to have to try to do this with the wall and just a Zealot, maybe a Sentry. And remember, this is not Warp Gate, so he has to actually make it come out the old-fashioned way. You know, back in my day as a Protoss, we never were able to warp in, but no. This is exactly the situation that PartinG is feeling right now. But, you know, I think he's going to be able to hold on a bit. This type of play is usually better for better for the Zerg if the Protoss is teching up, like going up to like Oracle and then missing this come.
This is a pretty rough situation to be in as PartinG, though, because obviously you're trying to get your infrastructure up. You're trying to get to the point where you don't need to make force fields to stay alive. And actually, there we go. The photon overcharge, I think, might be what he needed.
Yeah, he needed to get in there and be on the Nexus while that happened, because then you get a full surround on the Nexus, and then you're able to take it out. So Bly, his aggression will get shut down here, and PartinG, you know, he's like, you know what? I'm kind of known for Immortals and Sentries, so I already have 4 now, so we'll see if he decides to go into that kind of style. Or will he just, adding 2 more gateways? But remember, these gateways are actual gateways that he's going to use to attack. These aren't for walling anymore, as he has dealt with it.
More and more coming as well. I think he's transitioning towards a 2-base play rather than anything else. PartinG going, okay, I see you've committed a lot to this attack. You've got speed early, so your macro is not going to be that strong. You can't have that early of a 3rd base, and as we see, it's only just now going down at the 7:30 mark, and your droning is going to be pretty behind. And it's behind PartinG's. So at this point, going for a 2-base attack, very smart move, especially when you've already made all these sentries for defense.
Yeah. And I think, let's see if he takes the gas at his nat. It doesn't look like he's doing it just yet. He's chrono boosting out a lot of probes. So if he does stop at that mineral saturation, then we may very well see it. But no, it looks like the follow-up will be at least 1 more. While Bly is getting his Roach Warren, he already has speed completed, but he doesn't have that many drones. He said, yeah, he started out with the speed, and now he's struggling in that macro department, and he's going to need all the units he can get. With the better economy, usually is what you would use to deal with any kind of push like this. So doing it from a deficit, because he didn't really get any damage done there, you know?
It's I mean, he killed a gateway and some pylons.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so these see Lings push in, force the overcharge of the Mothership Core. Now at this point it may as well go with the army because it's not going to achieve that much. In fact, he could even kill it with the overcharge and make another one and probably still be up on energy, but that is crazy man tactics. But PartinG is a crazy man, so
exactly.
What can you say? At this point, pushing into the natural, going to be fighting with the sentries, force fielding off a little bit sketchily against those Lings, losing quite a few sentries. I'm not sure if this attack is going to work out now.
Yeah, he needs to start warping in immediately now, but he's getting pinned down. He's lost so many of the sentries. Bly pushing forward, looking pretty strong at the moment. Losing all those sentries is actually pretty damn big, and it's going to be up to this. Can he hold here? He has a bunch of zealots, but it's roaches. And no, so many Lings just came out of Bly. So Bly's less economy may even work better for him now because PartinG just committed and he has no tech.
That is a dangerous position to be in. Like, as PartinG, having just shoved out and tried to make that work, to have had it fail is not good. You really, really don't want that to have happened.
2.8k resources lost here. 8 sentries in total, by the way, so that wasn't just a cheap loss at all. And the fact that PartinG was continuing to make probes made me think that he wanted to go into a 3rd base, but he's just going to follow this up with a Forge. Is he going to drop a Robo, though? I feel like Bly, is he going to start droning up his 3rd, and then...
It looks like
It's such a weird situation to be in, right? Like, as a Protoss player that had just had an attack fail like that, you assume that the drone. You feel like the Zerg player is going to just follow it up with a lot of drones. Do you just go with a really fast attack to try to catch him off guard, or just say, okay, I don't know, what can I do here? Let's go for a third.
I honestly do not know. I think PartinG is heading towards that third base, and this is something that PartinG can get away with maybe, but everyone else can't. In that, realistically, PartinG should be super behind, right? He should he pushed out. He tried to do an attack that failed, but perhaps because we saw Bly take an attack and fail, and then PartinG make an attack and fail, obviously he's lost a bit more because Brota's units are more expensive and he lost his stuff later in the game. But it is still possible, I think, for him to hold. And if both players just elect to sit back and macro up, I think PartinG has a good chance of getting back into this.
Yeah, I think so as well. Because I wonder if we're going to see this third come up, because look at how many units PartinG has. That's actually kind of scary despite everything that happened. If he takes that third and forces Bly to, well, makes Bly think that, okay, yeah, you can go and macro up because I want to macro, PartinG could just go ahead and hit with a really strong timing. He's chrono boosting gateways. I don't think he's going to go ahead and try to probe that base up. He's just going to go for it. +1 is going to finish here. And
yeah, I think the key part is that, I mean, he's not hitting with an upgrade or anything, but PartinG is attacking at a point where his opponent really doesn't have that many units, so as long as he engages right, he might be able to do this. And with those force fields walling out a lot of the roaches, this might have been the engagement that PartinG wanted, especially since he has the base behind this. He's got the base that is going to prove so critical in keeping him in the game, if nothing else, even if he doesn't drone towards it. But Roach Burrow. Now he has to push forward.
So nice, and he needs to utilize his burrow as fast as he can, because even though you can burrow and survive forever, because there is no detection here, you don't want to be losing all of your units either, though, or your drones or your economy. So PartinG is just going to go with the sheer brute force of these gateway units. +1 has completed. Bly is desperately using the burrow ability, but he doesn't have burrow movement, so he can't go into the army of PartinG after and move. Once he burrows somewhere, he's there, and you don't regenerate that fast with regular burrow. I think PartinG just has a little too much. I don't even know how he does that, because that makes no sense to me.
It's because he's just PartinG, man. He's so smart. He turns up and he goes, oh, you think I'm out of this? I'm going to walk across the map and kill you. I'm going to kill you. Now, he's got +1. He's got his big stalker army. He's even got a third base that he's beginning to saturate. Come on. Give the guy a break.
PartinG, this guy is top class and is just making this look easy. I would have called it at that first one. It's like, oh, first engagement, you lost everything, PartinG, but no, he's going for it. Bly losing drone after drone after drone. 45 in total. He is only down to 4. PartinG only has to kill this Roach Force, and he will end this game, end this series, and go and face Supernova in a rematch.
GG!
Try to bring this to the round of 8. PartinG